adjectives we have there, we have much and many. We are going to explore the city means that here is the time you explore the city. For example, for 6 months. And you need to explore the mountain peak offers the most beautiful view of the valley.
Gana action, niba ushaka kwiga indimi. Gana action, ushaka kuba umusirimu. Gana action.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I give you a warm welcome again here at Action College. And I'm Teacher Lambert. This is an institution which guarantees you the knowledge in terms of different things, languages, techniques, and some others. And today I've come with a new lesson whereby we're going to talk about adjectives, and I think everybody's going to enjoy this. Normally, we use adjectives in normal life, but specifically using some adjectives like many and much. It's just sometimes still confusing. And let's just have this time to talk about these adjectives, many and much. By just referring ourselves to adjectives of quantity, which are also known as quantifiers, we can explain these adjectives, right, as adjectives of quantity to mean that they are used to talk about some nouns, quantity, or amount. They describe this kind of just quantity or amount, whereby they answer even the questions like how many and how much. So without just wasting much of the time, let's continue with our first adjective. And you know that much is an adjective, right? And today we are going to talk about it at the very beginning. And we use much when we talk about non-countable things, and whereby we talk about the great amount of things, right? If you have just water and you feel like this water is just a lot, so you have to use this much to describe this amount of water, to mean that you have just, I can say like just a lot of water, because water is non-countable noun, so you have to use just much to mean amount that you have, which is much, right? So let's have the first example to understand this just well, right? So we don't have much time left. When you say we don't have much time left, you mean that like this time is just it's a much, right? It's not very little time. In terms of time, maybe there are many hours. Just we want to mean that this is a big time. This is a large, right? Just amount of time, right? And we mean this by meaning that like this time can't be counted. So that's why we use much to mean it's just much, but it's not count. And there isn't much sugar in the tea. If you mean that sugar can be much, it means that this sugar is something like there is a level, you mean that it's going to be excess, right? When it's going to be just excess, it means that this amount is different from just small amount. So you mean that this just large amount of things, right? Whereby you want to mean that it's non-countable, and simply you say there isn't much sugar in the tea. If there is much sugar, you can't drink it. Sometimes somehow it looks just bitter. So without using much, it means that it's just countable noun. So if it is just countable noun, you have to understand that this noun has to work with many, because many is an adjective which is going to work with something which is countable. For example, if you can count friends, right? These are friends you can count. Maybe you have two friends, 5 friends. So what do you call many? Maybe there are 7 friends. If there are 7 friends for you and feel like, this is a great number of friends. So you can say here, she has many friends at school. I have many friends at school. She has many friends at school to mean for him, it's just a great number of friends. right? And in addition, there are many books on the shelf. If you say there are many books on the shelf, it means that what do we call many? For me, we call things many accordingly. For me, if there are 7 or 10, I can say these are many, right? According to what I need. If I need 5 and you give me 7, these are many, right? So they are many. So we have many books on the shelf. It means that it's just a large number of books on the shelf, right? And let's continue with comparisons of more and most. So, but before we continue with the comparison of more and most, I want to remind you that many talks about countable things, but it's just simply meaning that you can count those things, right? So when you ask the questions like how many, you have to answer by saying, I have this kind of books, but it means that you can count them. So in the comparison, we have 2 degrees. We have a degree of comparative and degree of superlative. And according to adjectives we have there, we have much and many. We are going to show you the comparatives and superlatives. As you see here on the screen, the comparatives are more for both much and many, and superlatives are most for both much and many. So when you say that comparatives are the same, superlatives are the same, don't get confused. That's how the comparatives of this kind of adjectives are. Whether it's countable and uncountable, and comparatives has to be more in the superlative most. And let's just talk about comparative. So comparative means that like you are comparing 2 things or 2 groups of things. When 2 things are there and you want to compare them, it just simply means that you are going to show the differences in terms of amount or quantity. When it is just amount, it means many. When it is quantity, it means much. For example, if here are people and there is a sugar, it means that you can't say, you can't use one adjective, right? Between many and much. But in comparative, they are the same, right? So let's just have this more to compare things. For example, I have more cars, right, than bicycles, right? And in just much, right, you can say, for example, I have more sugar than water. So they are the same, right? And the most, just they are changing accordingly. So, on this just slide, we are going to talk about more, to make comparative, which can work on both many and much, right? And as you see here, we have a comparison of more to compare 2 things. Let's have the first example there, which is April is usually the month which has more rain than May in Rwanda. So here we are comparing 2 months. We have April and we have May. When we talk about the month in which rains much, right, we are going to come here with the first one, which has more rain than another one. If in March it rains like more, it means that there is much rain, right? So when you compare it in a comparative degree, it's going to be, right? April is usually the month which has more rain than May in Rwanda. And the second example is we need more time to explore the city. So if we say we need more time to explore the city, means that here is the time you explore the city. For example, for 6 months. And you need to explore the city for 9 months. If you compare 2 times, 6 months and 9 months, which is more, means that we need more time to explore the city. Maybe you need 9 months. You don't need 6 months. So 9 months more than 6 months. So when you compare 2 things which are just non-countable, right? It means that you are going to use more, right? It means a comparative of much. We need more time, right, to explore the city. And let's continue. Let's just jump on most. Most is just a comparative which is used to compare things. Remember that comparatives are used to compare things which are more than 2, to mean that you want to compare them in terms of amount or numbers, right? In terms of amount or quantity, right? If you are comparing sugar to water, right? You have this sugar and there's another sugar, so you're going to say that this is the most sugar we have. And if you are comparing some countable nouns, for example, you are comparing cars and houses and roads, you're going to say that here is something which is the most, right? You are comparing numbers to mean those things are just quantity, right? It's just quantity of things, right? So, and I would like just to start with just this rule that when people are using comparatives, always we use the article the before, superlative, we use article the before these superlatives. So let's have some examples to compare more than two things in superlative. To mean we are going to use the most. It's a comparative of both much and many. So the first example is like the old town is the district which is the most historic, the old town is the district with the most historic buildings. If you say the old town is the district with the most historic buildings, it just signifies this one thing. You have to understand that you are talking about something whereby like many towns, right? Maybe there's a first town which is called A, the second which is called B and C, and they have, the first one has 3 just historic buildings, second one 3 historic buildings, third one 4 historic buildings, but this old town has, for example, 9 historic buildings. If you compare from the first one to the last one, you find that the old town is the district with the most historic buildings. So the second example, the mountain peak offers the most beautiful view of the valley. Maybe there are different corners whereby you can just stand to just watch some valleys. If you are just on the top of this valley, right, you are going to have a good view of, beauty of the valley, right? So it exactly means that if you compare where some people are and they can just view well the valley, so they are just different. Maybe the first one is just less showing, another one is more showing somehow, but this one is just showing you it well. So that's why we use the most to mean you are comparing this mountain peak to other kind of views you can just have to just see the beauty of this kind of valley, right? So we mean this by saying that the mountain peak offers the most beautiful view of the valley, right? So where are you? And where can you just have a best look, just best view of the city from different places you are watching us, right? Maybe you are just on the peak, right, of the mountain, and you can just take it as the most, right, beautiful view of just the city, right? It's just the most because you are comparing it to many more, right? So thank you so much. Let's continue with another example here. So the National Library is the place with the most books in the city. If you say the National Library is the place with the most books in the city, there are many libraries. And the national one, right, is just competing others in having many books. These books are countable, and you have used the most to mean superlative of many, right? Right? So, and here it means that the National Library just has like 100 books, while others have like 15, 20, and some just less, right? So we understand this well by using the most to mean it's just the National Library has many just books than all the rest of the libraries. So by using much here to mean time, which cannot be counted. So if it can't be counted, here you have to use
Gana action, niba ushaka kwiga indimi Gana action, ushaka kuba umusirimu Gana action.